soon to be released, Exposed. Please welcome Nastassja Kinski. How are you? Nice to see you.
Hi. Hello.
How are you?
I am just fine.
Good.
Really.
You have, your hair is a little different than,
Just?
it's a little different, isn't it? A little, or maybe it's not.
No.
You don't normally, or maybe you do you?
Of course I do. I don't know.
You normally
Isn't it
have...
different?
Now, why is that? What happened there?
What's the matter with you?
Well, no, nothing's the matter with me. Well, maybe there is, but that's... but you have... that's an interesting treatment you've done there.
Yes. Well, okay.
Well, maybe it's me. I don't know. Now, let me ask you about this introduction we gave you here. You've been compared to Ingrid Bergman, Brigitte. Now, you're going to get hair in there, and you won't want to drink it.
How do you know? You know me so well?
No, I don't. I'm just... Now, do you mind me? I was just teasing you there a little bit about your hair. Does that upset you?
No, I just don't understand what you mean.
Okay, maybe it's... I don't know. I'm sorry. Brigitte Bardot, Greta Garbo, Audrey Hepburn, and the list goes on and on. Now, does that bother you being compared to those legendary film actresses? Nastassja?
I'm not sure. It does bother me quite a lot, actually, and I hope people don't ask me these questions because I think it's so silly or whatever, or I'm...
Well, you must be flattered. You must be flattered by that.
I am very
sure.
flattered, but the way you say just about my hair.
Oh, now, are you still upset about the hair?
No, I'm not.
No, I'm sorry. If I hurt your feelings by making untoward remarks about your hair, please forgive me.
All right, I'll forgive it.
Okay.
No, this is crazy. It speaks me, and I don't understand it. So
well,
you should explain it to me.
Well, I just think that people are taken aback by your abilities at an early age to be a fine actress.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you about the snake. Do you mind if we get into that?
The snake?
The picture of the snake.
I think you think I'm somebody that I'm not.
Well, we've made mistakes before. Let me just...
It's no big deal. It's okay.
No, do you want to show the picture of the snake?
Let me see it. I've never seen it.
First seen the picture. Now, see, your hair is a little different, and it's not like that. Let me show the home viewers, as we say.
No, she looks like me. If you told me she looks like me, she does look like. Doesn't she look like me?
Whoa. Now, see, this is... now, what kind of snake have we got here?
Do you know what snake?
I have no idea what kind of snake that is. Do you... Is it... It's not your snake, obviously.
No.
No. Now, but I understand this photograph was your idea, to take the picture with the snake?
The thing is, we brought in all kinds of animals, like, comment on dit, monkeys.
Uh-huh.
And two snakes, and a papagayi, and, these big birds and all of that. And we chose a snake. Because I don't know, she came that way.
Did this frighten you to be engulfed in this snake, be wrapped up?
No.
Didn't frighten you?
No.
Now, he's got his tongue there.
I think she was, or he was more frightened than I was.
Yeah.
And it was was an incredible feeling. And she was very afraid by light. No, it was. She was very afraid by light and by any movement my body did. So as soon as I did a movement, she would do a movement, and we would keep on doing movements, and we'd never, sort of get to each other. So the funny thing is, I was talking to Avedon once about it.
Avedon being the man who took the photograph?
Right, yeah. Being the man who took the photograph, is that he said that one day he would show, all of these pictures till it came to that moment, because it was the one and only photograph that would, so we would have some kind of connection. Otherwise, the foot would be there and the snake would be there, and with all the, wouldn't, the music of both our beings wasn't quite right. So. Anyway.
He's got his tongue sticking in your ear there, which must have been a little unnerving. Would be for me.
Well, we're not alike.
Oh, that's a very, very nice photograph, though.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're very young, aren't you?
Depends. God, I look at myself up there and I look awful.
See, that's what I was talking about earlier.
I know. I was watching you.
We'll be right back. More with Nastasya Kinski. Of course, is Nastassja Kinski. John Candy is here, and tips on how to be a responsible television viewer. All this ahead of us. What was your childhood like? Oh, sure, you better open that button. What was your childhood like? You grew up in Germany, right?
You want me to do? Oh, this takes days. I grew up in, I spent my first year of school in Italy. Then went to London, England, then went to France, then back to Germany, and back to Italy, then South America, back to France, and back to Germany.
And you started acting at a very young age, didn't you?
At 13.
Now, was it possible to have any kind of close to a normal life existence in those days?
Well, that was my normal life.
Yeah.
You see, I would, at that time, you know, I had nothing to compare it to. I just did it, and we were traveling around, and that's what what my father and mother showed me, and what I lived, I saw as normal. As today, of course, I know it wasn't all that.
So how do you feel, looking back on it, how do you feel things were handled for you, or you handled them?
The best.
Yeah?
The best. Even though when you're at that age, 14, 15, even 10 or 11, you want to always live like the others, to have like a home that has one route, to have, lunch at 1, to have, all these regular things. I always wanted that because everything was like gypsy-like in our life, in our family.
What was life like with your father, Klaus? Now, he strikes people as being maybe an eccentric, kind of a curious fellow. Was that true at home?
Yeah, he was. But again, I didn't know any other father, so I thought every father's like that, right?
Did he, in those days, did his behavior strike you as being loopy? I mean, do you remember him doing odd things? You would go back to your room thinking, boy, Dad's stepped off the curb.
No, we're all alike a little bit,
Yeah.
Yeah, my mother and my father, we're all a little bit alike.
Yeah. And you're very close with your mom now, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, my father and mother separated when I was 9, and they still kept a great relationship till, a few years after. So that was a strength or root I will always carry with me. I mean, the marriage of my father and the time my father and mother were together were great. And then I lived with my mother, which was even greater because we became closer and closer and closer.
What was your relationship like, or what is it like, if it's still in existence, with Roman Polanski?
It's, I met Mr. Polanski when I was 16 or something with my mother.
But now, were you frightened by meeting him because he?
I was a little bit, because people, you know what people say about him. So I met him, and he was everything else but that. He treated me with great respect and was very, very sweet. And my mother and him became great friends, and then we started working together for French Vogue, which wasn't like in the magazines that it was, but it was a story, the pirate story, which he's going to do as a movie, which he's written for 7 years, and he's finally going to do it as a movie, and it was stills that way with costumes, and we got to know each other. And one day he told me, have you read Tess? And that's when I was in America. I was 16. I said, what do you mean you have to? And he never really gave me the impression that I would do the movie, I would get the part. He was always very distant and cold about it. And finally sent me to England for 7 or 8 months. 7 months it was for the accent and, to do it. He said, I don't think you can do it. You're too German, you're too this, you're too that, but try it anyway. So I tried and I got the part. And ever since that, we're very close. And if it's anybody, I long to know what he thinks about my work and my development. It's surely my family and him.
When he had a lot of trouble and still is in a lot of trouble if he comes back to this country. Did any of that ever bother you or give you second thoughts about what the man may be up to?
I think it's ridiculous. I mean, I never really wanted to get into the whole story, what it really was about, because the way I know him is totally different, and I don't want to know about it. And I think it's ridiculous. I think it's one of the most wonderful filmmakers, and I think it's a loss for America. That's all I can say.
You mentioned also accents. When you appear in movies, generally you can't detect a German accent, but that would be your natural tongue, would it not, so to speak?
What?
Germany. I mean, you speak German? That's your first language?
German is my first language, but I grew up with 4 or 5 languages. So my ear is very musical for new languages. So in English I could very easily pick up, like, easily not, I would have to work on it, but on English or American accent. Or, for example, for Evelyn Nesbit, I wanted to play that part so badly for Milos Forman. I was studying 3 months for that accent, you know, that, and that didn't work out. I was, you know.
And what accent is that?
Where's Evelyn Nesbit from?
Audience?
Where's Evelyn Nesbit from? You would know, you're American. For
Evelyn Nesbit. Paul?
New Jersey? All right?
Well, we'll trace this and maybe call her.
Anyway, I
had trouble with that accent.
I had trouble.
Yeah, okay.
But I love to do that.
We have to go on away here for station identification, but Nastasya and I will return right after this. Welcome back. This is Nastassja Kinski. Tomorrow night, Dick Cavett will be on this program. We'll have a tour of specialty shops in New York City. Viewer mail, comedian Steve Wright, and actor Ron Silver. All of that stuff tomorrow night. Later tonight, John Candy is here, and we want to take a look at this movie, the new one, Exposed. But just quickly, would you ever go out with just a regular guy, somebody you meet at Baskin-Robbins, or do you always?
Sure, I'm going out with a regular guy.
Really? Now, how regular a man is this? How old is he?
Too regular to even... 25.
25? And what does he do for a living?
He's, oh my God, if you ever see, he's German, and he's studying in Berlin.
So he's a student?
Architecture.
An architecture student. Now, how did you meet the man?
Why do you want to know this? You see how small I get when it comes to that? Oh, my voice becomes so different.
Yeah.
I met him.
And but see, people may think of you as like you were romantically involved with. You mentioned Milos Forman. Is that correct?
No,
I made that up. Forget it. That was a slip. I was just testing it. Just testing. But you know, you go out with really important, big time folks, and I think America.
I don't go. Wait a minute. Let's get this clear. I don't go. I've been going out with very small amount. I'm even embarrassed to say of men. And certainly never the ones that you read in the papers about.
Oh, really?
Okay. I know this is a fun problem, but this is very serious. I want to get this straight, because people always think, you know, I work with somebody they always think I have an affair with, which is not true. And I'm very much in love since a long time, and I haven't been out with either of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, but you're right. People do assume that, and also the combination of the fact that you work in films, you're very, very young, and most women 22 probably don't get to go out with world-famous movie directors. That's all I was saying.
Well, I don't think this happened by accident. I always used to think, you know, maybe it's my father, maybe it's this. I think it just shows, like in the character I play in Exposed, that there was a hungerness and a need for me to go out and do movies, and you feel that.
So now, what's the guy's name in Berlin if folks want to get in touch with him?
The guy's name?
Yeah, what is
very
just
short.
His first name?
K-A-Y. Kai.
Kai. K-A-Y. All right, well, that's good to know. Now, we have this movie here, Exposed, and looks like you've interrupted a class at beauty college. If you're just tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, getting ready now for the rinse and set. So, and again, we're just joking here. That's all we do. We just like to joke. That's all we're doing. Now, let's take a look. Let's take a look at this movie.
It's a tick, you know. If you smoke, I do this. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. The idea always strikes me. You know, I get up in the morning and say, how am I going to do this? How am I going to say this? How am I going to show this? How are we going to do it?
Yeah.
Right. And we go there, and you actually forget the minute you do it. It's like in the film also, or things that aren't in the film where I hurt myself or I fall. I don't feel the pain, you know, when it says action like this. All you do is melt into the situation, and that's what we did. So, you know, as soon as you say cut, you go, oh my God. Yeah. You know, it's like.
What is next for you? After Exposed is the film that's coming out soon? What are you going to do after that?
I did a movie called Moon in the Gutter with Jean-Jacques Benex. He's the director of The Diva. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
And Gérard Depardieu, and then I did a German movie, and then just a German movie, and then I'm doing a movie in January with Dudley Moore, and it's called Unfaithfully Yours.
So you're very, very busy. Very successful career. Also, December 16th, I was told you have a dental appointment at 10 a.m. Right there. Jack Stewart Kern and Mark Neil Johnson.
That's true.
That's right. December 16th. Good luck on that dental appointment.
Thank you.
Nastassja Kinski, ladies and gentlemen. Stay right there. Thank you very much. We'll be right back.